Hello everybody. Today I'm going to react to this guy. I used to watch it too much. His videos were amazing when I used to be vegan. Mm, It popped to my face when I was binge watching YouTube on I didn't know whether this guy was still vegan. He's still, and guess what? He says that he's obsessed with protein. Plant proteins could be a good idea for human consumption. Let's watch his video and let's stop talking.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. So I was answering some comments the other day on my channel and I got a question I thought was worth answering on video and making a video about. So it goes, I love your channel, but I don't understand why you are so hung up on protein. The best respectable, science-backed, whole food, plant-based docs show that it's just not necessary. Like Dr. Esselstyn says, the protein available in a diet of whole grains, legumes, fruit and beans, and red, yellow, and green vegetables is adequate to nourish even professional champion athletes, such as those who compete in the Ironman races, professional football, mixed martial arts, and track and field. Avoid protein drinks. The extra protein is truly unnecessary. What gives? So I get it. At first glance at my channel, you wouldn't be wrong to think that. High protein, full day of eating, high protein meal preps, high protein recipes. I even did like the best sources of plant-based protein tier list. So yeah, I know.
The problem with plant proteins is that you just not only eating protein itself, you are eating carbohydrates too. So it's kind of conundrum. Maybe if you do try tofu, tempeh, and those kind of foods, it could be pricey. So you're not willing to try it because of the price that it costs. Mm, I used to eat tofu. Mm, they say that it contains too much estrogens that for men is bad. Tempeh definitely not for those who suffer from mm, allergic for those who are allergic to gluten. It could be a bad idea. So, and for those who have indigestion, consuming protein from beans. So that's why I quit the vegan diet because of the beans. I was consuming a lot of beans in order to get my protein intake, but I ended up badly with indigestion, what's not.
What you're saying, and you're not wrong thinking that. One of my goals with this channel is to not only help people eat healthy, whole plant-based meals that they enjoy, but
That dish reminds me when I used to do that. Ooh, such a wonderful times. I remember when night is about to come, I was very excited to do my salad, but then it used to taking me a toll because of the fats and a little bit of indigestion. But especially I like lettuce.
it's also to bring people to the vegan diet that aren't already vegan. And to do this, I like to put a lot of people's concerns and roadblocks at ease. And one of the main concerns that people have is eating enough protein, especially when coming from a higher protein meat-based diet. And this is especially true with the audience that I like to target. So people who are into sports, you're into weightlifting, wanting to build muscle, wanting to gain strength. And somebody who is used to eating like 250 grams of protein per day and has always heard that they need a lot of protein in order to maintain muscle mass and their level of fitness and all that sort of stuff is gonna have a really hard time hearing like from these doctors that, oh, you only need like 50 or 60 grams of protein a day. That's all you're gonna get on a plant-based diet. It's a lot easier for them to see someone like me who maybe is eating 100, 120, 150 grams of protein and is managing to build muscle on that, to sort of like meet in the middle there. You know, like I hope they watch one of my videos and go, okay, if he's able to do that with what he's doing there, I can kind of wrap my head around that. It seems like a reasonable amount of protein. I can get that eating what he does. So I'm gonna give it a try. And this happens with a lot of people. I bring a lot of people to a plant-based diet by showing them what I eat and by putting their concerns at ease. Like, check out this comment that I also got. Thank you for this. Been wanting to go meatless, but worried about getting my protein in. You just helped. Thank you. So just really quickly before I go on with this video, let's just appreciate this spot that I'm at. I absolutely love this trail. Kind of winds along the side of this river, and there's just so much greenery. It is beautiful. So if you guys watch my videos, you'll know I'm careful to...
What I like the most about this guy is that, well, even his diet is not so good, let's say. He likes to make some walkings in nature. He likes walking a lot, so he appreciates nature. That's why I love this guy. But in terms of his diet, I'm not gonna lie you. His dishes seems to be good, but they are time consuming. I don't have too much time to, or maybe I'm a little bit lazy to cook. Yeah, so I have to soak my beans. I have to steam my vegetables. I have to let it cook for an hour. Oof. It's just simply to grab your piece of meat and throw it in the pan, and here it is. You have it already. You have it. Your dish, your food. But if you are vegan or want to be a vegan, you have to like cooking. Otherwise, you are going to end up it quickly.
To mention that I don't think that the amount of protein that people are getting is what's holding most people back from reaching their goals, whether that be fitness oriented or weight loss oriented or whatever. Like, I always do say that. And I also don't think that I promote an unhealthy amount of protein. Like, I'm not just saying eat all the fake meat alternatives that you can and just take like 10 scoops of protein powder a day or anything to hit these sky high numbers. I think what I show is actually quite reasonable. So yes, I'm not denying that these doctors know what's best and know what is healthiest for longevity and for optimal health. Like, they are clearly...
Adults require no more than 0.8 or 0.9 grams of protein per healthy kilogram of body weight per day. Dr. Michael Greco. Well, he's alright. I agree with him. In terms of being normal, in terms of not training, in terms of carrying a normal life without exercising. But for those who are pretty much into the gym, into lifting weights, well, they may require a little bit more than that. But today, the amount of they are consuming of protein, it's insane. They consume 2 grams per kilogram, 2 grams of protein. That's a lot. That's why they ended up badly with kidney malfunctions, with a lot of acne and whatnot. So protein, eating too much of it, it's a bad idea. At least it's what I think.
Really a lot smarter than me. They've done a lot more research than me, and they have teams that, you know, look at all the nutritional and scientific papers and all that sort of stuff. So yes, what they recommend is probably best for health and longevity, but a lot of the research, if not almost all the research that shows that a high protein diet isn't optimal for health is most likely looking at a meat heavy or animal product heavy high protein diet. And I don't think what I'm eating is going to be too detrimental to people's health, or else I would.
I'm thinking about the Okinawans. People tend to consume less protein there because they consume foods like starch, like sweet potatoes, for example. Mostly, they do consume meat too. Don't take me don't get confused, because maybe you are confused about Okinawans that they are vegans because they are eating every day starchy sweet potatoes, full starchy foods in general. But the reason they are centenarians is that they consume less protein, but they don't give up on meat. Listen carefully. Um and yeah, the studies have shown that consuming too much protein could age you quickly. So that's why most of the people, the body lifters, the bodybuilders that are consuming too much protein, they age fast. So you can see at their faces how fast they are aging, and it's incredible.
Wouldn't promote it and I wouldn't share it. I want people to be healthy as well. But there for sure is some really good science showing that slightly more protein than that is helpful for building muscle and for building strength. So around 1.5 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight has been shown to maximize muscle building abilities and also strength. So for somebody that's my size, that's just over 70 kilograms or so, that's around 105 to I think about 115 grams of protein per day, which is not like a super huge amount. And that's generally what I get in my full day of eating. Sometimes, like the last video I did, I'll show higher amounts, like I think it was 150 or 160 grams of protein per day. But a lot of people are bigger than me, so they want to hit these higher numbers. So yeah, I mean, hopefully this is starting to make a little bit more sense. And let's face it, high protein videos get the clicks. People are obsessed with protein. So
it's because of the social media that brainwashes you to consume a lot of food. That's insane. In the past was the fat. If you consume fat, if you consume products with fat, you are a loser. You are considered a loser. And nowadays it's about protein. If you don't consume foods with protein, bars with protein, your dish have to contain protein, your burger have to contain protein, all is protein, and all of this is bullshit, BS. So protein is not the panacea to be okay to build muscle, because yeah, proteins have the ability to to build your muscle, but when you exceed it, it turns out that you you are going to the bad path.
if I can help bring people to a plant-based diet and eat in a healthful way by just showing them how to eat high protein meals, they're still healthy, and it's going to help people get healthier, and I think it's a win-win for everybody, and especially the animals. And there's still a whole bunch of misconceptions and confusion about protein, especially plant-based protein, that I like to address it and I like talking about it because I think it really helps people understand. Like, check out this comment I also got. So this person's quoting me here: all plant foods have all 9 of the essential amino acids. Completely wrong, BS information. More than half of the foods on this list are not a complete protein. And then someone comments underneath, huh? I'm kind of shocked that he says this. Not even soy has all essential amino acids. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, brother, but all plant foods have all 9 essential amino acids. You don't have to believe me. You can check for yourself. Actually, let's all check together on Cronometer. So that person commented not even soy has all 9 of the essential amino acids. Let's put in a few hundred calories of soy in the Cronometer and see that, yes, it contains all 9 of the essential amino acids. Beans, all 9 of the essential amino acids. Rice, all 9. We could even look at lower protein foods, and you're not going to be eating this for protein, and you're not going to be eating this much, but broccoli, all 9 essential amino acids. If you can eat enough calories of cucumber, all 9 essential amino acids. So I don't know if they're confusing the term complete protein.
Yeah, but I do not know if you have the stomach to digest it, because you have to consume it in vast amounts. Otherwise, you're not going to reach to your protein goals. So that's why being a bodybuilder and being vegan, it's not a good idea. So that's why we see a few bodybuilders, vegan bodybuilders. Yeah, because most of them cannot consume a lot of plant foods. So if they overconsume it, they start to feel indigestion, to feel bad overall. So for those who tolerate it, they are lucky. So they can. I'm not saying they cannot. They can be vegan.
With the thought that plant foods don't have all 9 of the essential amino acids, but even that term complete protein is an outdated term that we've known for a long time, doesn't really apply anymore. So the thought is that, like, you have to combine 2 foods with complementing amino acid profiles in order to make a complete protein. You should be eating this at each meal, or else your body is not going to get enough protein. Like beans, for instance, have a good amount of lysine, but are low in methionine, and then grains like brown rice have more methionine, but are lower in lysine.
Again, yeah, you by combining all the day different plants of food, you are going to join all the essential amino acids, so that couldn't be a problem. But then again, you have to consume a lot of it, and you get to a point that you cannot consume it because you feel bad because of the fiber, maybe the fiber intake, because of the anti-nutrients. So and digestion starts to taking a toll on you, and everything bad could be happen to you. But for those again who tolerate it well, there wouldn't be a problem for them, but they are just a few. Remember that.
Lysine, so you should combine them. But our bodies are smarter than this, and we are able to pool amino acids and break down protein in order to create necessary amino acids for optimal health, for optimal growth, for optimal muscle protein synthesis, for whatever we really need. Like, if you think about it, this is why people can fast for a few days and their body is still able to complete all the metabolic processes that it needs to. And yeah, you're not going to be building muscle or anything when you're fasting, but it just shows that we don't have to be eating complementary or like complete proteins at each meal. But as I showed you, all plants have all 9 of the essential amino acids anyway. So it's almost impossible, it pretty much is impossible, to not get the recommended amount of amino acids while eating a plant-based diet if you're eating sufficient calories from a variety of sources. I can honestly say I've never thought about amino acids or what foods have what amino acids when I'm eating throughout the day or when I'm creating meals. It is just not even in my brain. I do think of getting higher protein sources at each meal, but as far as like nitpicking amino acids, not even close to something that I think about. But you know who probably does think about amino acids are these guys. So here's another comment that I got. And this is why I talk about protein so much, because there's still so many questions about it and people just don't understand it, especially on a plant-based diet. So someone said, looks great, but does the app calculate proteins that the body can't build muscle out of, like protein in white rice? And then this other comment here, all plant protein is rubbish. The body and brain much prefers animal protein. All the protein that we eat is broken down by our stomach acid and by enzymes into amino acids, and then they are absorbed. So our body doesn't care where the protein is coming from. Of course, something like white rice is going to have very little protein to break down into amino acids compared to soybeans or beans and lentils and that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to absorb any of it. And if that second commenter wants to get technical, our brain's preferred source of fuel is glucose. It is definitely not protein. So anyways, the proof is clearly in the vegan pudding. If I have been able to build the amount of muscle that I have as a natural lifter while being vegan for 15 years, clearly there is something to that. Clearly the protein in plants is usable, or else I would have withered away to nothing. Am I the biggest, strongest lifter to ever touch weights? Heck no, not even close, and I'm not claiming to. And I don't make like bodybuilding my life. I don't focus on it completely. I just work out for, an hour and a half or so, a handful of times a week, and I've been able to build a pretty impressive physique. So if meat was so good at building muscles, so much better than plants, then why isn't everybody that eats meat that lifts bigger than me? You think it would just be like a cheat code for people to just eat some animal products and just blow up and get massive. So anyways, I could go on all day about protein. Maybe I am obsessed with it, I don't know, but hopefully you understand the reasons why now, because it is just such a good way, to help people find a plant-based diet, to show that you can do this and build muscle and everything in a healthful way while eating healthy whole plant foods. So hopefully that answers your question, but I totally get why you would think that. I do love all those doctors, and I take a lot of information from them and I use it and I pass it on to the viewers of my videos. So anyways, thank you for the question, and definitely keep them coming. Put your comments in the comment section down below if you have any more questions on protein or what I eat or anything like
that. Okay guys, interesting video to watch, all about protein. You're gonna hear it this word this year and the next years to come, because people have been brainwashed about protein. I'm not a fan of consuming a lot of protein because in my case it damages my kidneys. I feel it. When I overconsume it, my kidneys are kinda heavy. So I don't exercise too much. I just do it once a week. It's enough for me. I don't want to overconsume it, because if I want to build muscle, I would have to consume a little bit more of protein, and that gives me some bad symptoms that I don't want to experiment. So I'm just pretty much well right now with my current diet, not eating too much protein. And what about you guys? I do want to know if you consume a lot of protein, if protein suits you good or bad. Let it in the comment, please, to in order to have a little bit of chatting between amongst us, amongst everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I have to say you goodbye, peace out.